loving you was easy, I wouldn't be here battling with the what ifs and whys and tripping on those long ass replies. It's like I'm hooked, but I'm not sure if this drug helps me survive. Let's get back to the base. I'm here with another video. Everyone's been asking for me to give some advice for year 13, and since I've been through it, I was like, you know what? Let me tell you guys some things and give you some tips so you don't make the mistakes I did first. This is the one thing I would say goes across the board for all year groups, whatever you're doing, university, yeah, GCSEs, A-levels, even if you're in year 8. Your friends play a big part in your success, you know? It's always good to have that fun friend, but at the same time you need to make sure you have that friend that's gonna be like, no, this is not what you should be doing. You need to be doing work, you understand? There's lots of people who didn't reach their full potential because they were following what their friends were doing. They got distracted by their friends, and I would say to you, please don't do that, you know, because I don't want you to be disappointed with your results. So it all boils down to your company, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that all your friends have to be like, oh, just work, no getting out, like not social, none of that. I'm saying, like, be careful, make sure you have a handful of friends that bring out different qualities in you, you know? So there's friends that will bring out the fun side, there's friends that will bring out the determined side, the one that's hardworking, you know, that one that knows how to say to mirror, you know what, you're too stressed, you need to step back and relax, you know. You need those friends as well that like know that you're going crazy, you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I would say for year 13, this is where it's really important to make sure you analyze who you're hanging out with. There's lots of people I had to drop because I was like, nah, like, you're not good for my mental health, number one, and number two, you're stopping me from getting where I want to go, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say. Like, it's harsh, you might not want to do it, but to get places that you want to go, sometimes you're gonna have to let go of people that are like hindering that. If there's that one friend that's always taking you away from your work, always distracting you, always making you, I don't know, even feel inadequate, you know, you see those ones that are just like bringing you down mentally, like never telling you, wow, like they're never telling you you're gonna do well. Like, they're always the ones to be like,
are you sure about that?
You see those friends there? I'm sure everyone has at least one of those friends, yeah, where they're like,
no man, like
that one who doesn't mind failing, that one who's like wants everyone to fail with them. Like, nah, you need to be like, you know what, do what you want to do, but you see me here, yeah, I'm trying to get my grades.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
You understand? I'm not trying to be repeating and all of this and all of that. Just be careful in it, because friends, as much as you don't want to believe it, they can stop you from succeeding. So that's one of the things I would say. So the next thing I want to talk about is if you have a job, if you're into doing a lot of activities, all of that, extra curriculum, blah blah blah, I would like to say to you, yeah, if you have a job, please limit how many hours you do, because I'm telling you, year 13, there is no time for you to be doing up 20 hours a week. I know you want to get that money, you want to be balling, but there's no point you balling and then you end up balling because you didn't get the grades. You know what I'm saying? Don't be getting in the habit of, you know what, I'm going to be working 3 days a week. I'm going to be working 3 days a week, because trust me, those hours could be spent doing something that's productive and something that's gonna be beneficial to you in terms of your education. I made a mistake of doing lots of extra curriculum stuff, and when it came down to it, lots of my teachers were like to me, Tamira, you need to stop giving your time to other people. And when I actually sat and deeped it and went through everything that I was doing, I was like, you know, that's really true. Like, if there was like a singing event, I would go. If the teacher needed help with something, I was the first one to say, yeah, yo, I'll do it. When it came to my work, it was just like, Tamira, where's your balance? I was doing all of this, trying to get experience, trying to help others, all of this, being the good Samaritan, yeah? And then when it came to it, it was just like, how much work are you actually putting in to your education, you know. You singing on the stage, it's all nice, it's gonna build your confidence. Yeah, it's something you love, but is that gonna help you get your grades? Summer, that long summer, you have nothing to do. So you can work then, you can play as many instruments as you like, you can do your football, you can go to the gym, that's your time. But for now, year 13, put the job to the side. Yeah, I know you want that money, like I said before, but it's better to get your grades. I always say, yeah, don't be those people that's like so hooked on education that they forget to look after themselves, that they forget that they need to step back, that they're not robots. Don't be one of those people, because at the end of the day, they end up having lots of mental issues. They end up being really sad. They end up not knowing how to communicate with other people because they, you know, segregate themselves from other people. They want to just solely focus on those books, but there's a lot of things you can't learn in the education system, you know what I'm saying? So I would just say is know how to balance it. Instead of doing 3 days a week, I'm gonna do 1 day a week, so at least I have that stress reliever. It's all about balance. It's all about balance. If it comes to a point where you're too tired because you've been doing other things but revision, then that's how you know you're not balancing it correctly. Don't get carried away with doing things you love, innit? Because I will just say you end up regretting it, you know, and I don't want you guys regretting it. If you need a tutor, get ASAP. ASAP. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel embarrassed, because lots of people who didn't get a tutor wish they had gotten a tutor. So I'm just saying, if there's things you're struggling with and you feel like you need that extra support other than your teachers, try and get a tutor. I know it's hard because some of these tutors are expensive, but hopefully you can find some financial support and that will be able to help you. Honestly, just because you get a tutor, it does not mean that you're inadequate. It does not mean that someone else who doesn't have a tutor is better than you. It just means that you need someone else to help you out and grasp a concept that you don't get when you're at school. Like, it is what it is. You and yourself know whether you need extra support or not. There's no point lying to yourself, because you don't want to wait until it's 1 month before exams and I need a tutor. There's no point. There's actually no point. If you're struggling with something, say it. Yeah, I used to do it sometimes. I used to sit in class, be struggling with something, and because I felt like a bit embarrassed, I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna go home and try to figure this out. Sometimes it worked, don't get me wrong. Like, I'll go home, and because I was determined to learn it, I ended up learning it. But it would have been so much easier if I had just said, you know what, miss, sir, I don't know how to do this, can you explain it for me? This one's pretty simple. I would say try and create a study plan, because there's lots of people who kind of don't know how to prioritize or structure their studying, and then it ends up being a bit hectic by the end because they don't know what they should have done and what they have done. There's lots of templates that you can use. Even if you just type it in, lots of templates will come up. Find the one that's easier for you. I think it does make studying easier when you know what you're going to do. I had one put on my wall. I also had one on my phone. So the timetable is just there to keep you organized. Talk about not burning yourself out. I know year 13, it can be a very stressful time, and you don't want to disappoint people. You have the added pressure, especially if lots of people are looking up to you, especially if you have I don't know, brothers and sisters who have done very well. That might be added pressure, or even your parents, they sometimes put pressure on you and you don't even know that. And sometimes that is kind of internalized, that stress is internalized, and that messes you up. And some people, when they're really stressed, they end up doing lots of work. That's like me. When I'm stressed, I like working, work. And what you don't want to do is end up burning yourself out. There's people that want to do so well that they end up burning themselves out. They don't have time for anything else. They don't even look after themselves, you know. And what people need to understand is these things can have like long-lasting effects, you know. It can like really mess with you mentally, even if you think, nah, it's just work, you know. There's lots of people in university, work. And when you ask them, are you okay? It's like, nah, like, I'm not good, you know. So you need to make sure you're looking after yourself. Don't burn out yourself. Like I say, make sure you have an outlet. Make sure you have something to do that is not work. So I would say be careful. Do enough, but don't overdo it. So that brings me on to the next topic, which is like trying to go the extra mile and trying to do things that your classmates wouldn't do. So I would say you can go the extra mile, but you don't have to overwork yourself. You know, some people think going the extra mile means you have to overwork yourself. This could just mean, okay, your teacher gives you work and then she gives you an extension, yeah? You choose to do the work, the normal work, and the extension, because that's where you push yourself. When the teacher says, you can read this, but you don't have to. There's lots of people that,
I ain't reading that. You think I'm reading that? Ah, funny.
and then there's people in the corner, they're silent. Why? Because they know when they go home, they're going to be reading that. When they come into class, what's the topic on? What they read last night. So don't be that person that's like, hey, I finished the homework, I'm done. Be the one to be like, you know what?
But didn't Sir say like there was something he wanted to look at? There was something he wanted to look at tomorrow. Maybe I should research that.
Research it. And then when you come in tomorrow, he'll be like, so what's so-and-so? You can be like, when there's a question that comes up, you won't be struggling as much because you looked at it. There's a couple more things I want to talk about, but I'm going to start by saying make sure you know how to prioritize your work, you know. There's a lot of people, when it comes down to it, they haven't prioritized what they're going to do, you know. People are writing notes 1 week before the exams and all this, and it's just like, if it was me, I would do it so differently. I would say make sure you have your notes written no later than, if we're talking people doing the A-level exams next year, I would say you need to be done with your notes January latest, and start to prioritize like things that are hard, things that you find pretty decent, things that come to you like that. If you don't know how to prioritize, there's people that will be doing the things that they find easy, and then 1 month before the exams they're like,
Oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that.
be honest with yourself. If you don't know how to do something, don't be lying and say you know how to do it. Prioritize, please. Like, as much as you don't want to do the things that are hard, please do them. January, even December, I started way before January, but I would say make sure you start doing your exam questions. Make sure you start doing it. So I would say go on like the exam websites, see if you can find questions that are similar to what you're doing. Past paper questions is the main thing. Bang them out. Just because you did it once, don't mean you can't do it again and again and again. Bang it out. You want to be, this is what I wish I had done. Like, I'll do a past paper, get a decent grade, and I was like, cool, on to the next. What I should have done is 2 weeks later, done it again, see if it improved. 2 weeks later, done it again, see if it improved, and track it. If you do your exam and 2 weeks later your grade is going down, you're not retaining it. That tells you something. You're doing something wrong when you're studying. If you want those grades, please just invest in them. Do them over and over again. I want you to feel sick, yeah? Okay, don't feel sick, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I want you to do it and see that question and be like, I already know what it is. If you guys need any more tips or you have any questions, you can message me, comment down below, and I'll answer them. But yeah, I wish all of you good luck. Just remember, you need to believe in yourself.